The 45th Deep Dive Sharp Cover is in the Crystalline Caverns region. The Deep Dive and Elite Deep Dive remain the same each week and reset at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. Oddly enough, I think the Deep Dive might be about as difficult as the Elite Deep Dive this week. This video is going to help you get your weekly blank core, weapon overclock, and matrix core cosmetic. Hi guys, I'm Legionless, and this channel is about helping you enjoy your games more. If you'd like to enjoy your games more, subscribe to the channel and like this video to help me out. This week's deep dive can be a little difficult after stage 1, but should be pretty doable for everyone wanting to get their weekly cosmetics. Stage 1's primary objective is to kill 2 dreadnoughts and repair 2 mini mules while there's a Magtera plague active. Stage 2 is collecting 7 Aquar and 150 Morkite with a low oxygen warning. The final stage is to repair 3 mini mules and collect 2 eggs. Stage 1 is pretty straightforward, but there's a Betsy with a couple leeches and a spitballer around it, so be careful around it. The Betsy was fairly helpful in killing the dreadnoughts, so you'll want to not go down the path we took in our first dreadnought, because the Betsy is near the second dreadnought we fought. Stage 2 can lead to some trouble for the team because of the low O2 warning, but having a gunner and driller on the team to help get back to the minehead makes the low O2 not that big of a deal. If the scout and engineer focus on getting nitro and morkite, the gunner and driller can worry about getting the Aquar back to the minehead. Otherwise, it's just a pretty standard point extraction mission where you grab the Aquar and kill enemies in between. The final stage is easy with 3 mini mules and 2 eggs, but watch out for bulk detonator spawns. There was one early on in this stage and another spawned when we were finishing up the zone defense at the end of the deep dive. Those can cause the team some headaches if they're not taken down fast enough, so the whole team needs to shoot the bulk detonators down quickly. For drillers, either primary weapon will be fine, though I always lean more towards the flamethrower because it's better at crowd control, in my opinion. The cryo gun wouldn't be bad for dreadnoughts if you're running a build that will freeze them quickly and throwing axes for damage. The Sabata is my go-to, but the EPC pairs nicely with the cryo gun when you run plasma burn on the EPC because of thermal shock, which deals an instant 200 damage if the enemy is frozen, and then gets flame damage dealt to it, or is burning and gets freeze damage dealt to it. Driller is really nice to have for stage 2 to collect the Aquar quickly and easily, as well as creating a path back to the minehead for the team. Driller will also be nice to have in stage 3 when defending the zones at the end of the deep dive because Driller has a good crowd control and can shape the area you need to defend from. For gunners, I recommend the minigun over the autocannon this week because the minigun is a little bit better at single target damage, which will help the gunner deal with the dreadnoughts in stage 1 really quickly. The minigun also has better range than the autocannon and can pop the weak points on the bulk detonators in stage 3 from a safer distance than the autocannon. The gun will be really helpful to have because there's a lot of areas zipline is really useful to have, especially on stage 2 where you need to carry a Aquar back to the minehead quickly with your O2 running out. For the engineer, the Warthog shotgun is nice for the single target damage and should be fine for crowd control with the sentry turret active. I'd personally lean more towards a deep core grenade launcher this week for crowd control, especially with the Fat Boy overclock to also do some nice damage to dreadnoughts, but the breach cutter would be equally as good and be nice to have for the bulk detonators since it can hit multiple weak points at the same time. You'll want to coordinate with the scout to collect the nitro and morkite needed in stage 2, and then the sentry turret will be really nice to have when defending the zones at the end of stage 3. For the scout, flares will be really nice to have in stage 1 because of the multiple cave leeches and there will be a lot of nitro to collect. Ping the nitro you want to get and the engineer will place a platform on it for you to grab. Your favorite crowd control or single target damage build would be good to have since there's 2 dreadnoughts in stage 1 and 2 bulk detonators in stage 3. You should use whichever you're most comfortable with as long as you're placing flares for the team and collecting nitro and mission objectives. Stage 1 was pretty straightforward, but watch out for the Magtera that hit pretty hard as well as the Betsy. Don't aggro Betsy too early or when the team isn't ready, or you'll have a really tough time with that fight. Make sure to keep Betsy in the room she spawns in, or you might have Betsy spawn one of the dreadnoughts prematurely. Stage 2 can be tough if you don't stay on top of the low O2, and the only way you can get more is by going back to the minehead or from a resupply pod. Otherwise, just take stage 2 at a comfortable pace and you'll be fine. In Stage 3, you can use as much of your resupply pods as you want because all you really have to worry about is the bulk detonators. The two zones you need to defend are right next to each other and are in a really nice spot, so you shouldn't have trouble with Stage 3 at all. Comment down below what stages you had trouble with and any tips you have so everyone else can see and be better prepared for their deep dive this week. Subscribe to the channel if you want to enjoy your games more, and share this video with others getting ready to run the deep dive this week. I'm going to let the rest of the deep dive roll so you can see what my team ran into and what we did so you can have an easier time in your deep dive. Thanks for watching.